Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another edition of the 5-Star Supreme Wrestling series with American influence, because we are Paige Croft. We are very American. So yeah, Paige Croft, I don't know why I brought her up specifically. We're building to Hall of Fame, as we established on the last one. That's the next pay-per-view, and we do have 2 matches pre-booked, 2 title matches. First, we have Wounded Warriors versus Wrestling Passion for the 5 SSW Tag Team Championships, as well as Michiko Matsuda versus Yu Hashimoto for the All Asian Championship, and it might even be main eventing the show. I do not know for sure. I'm torn between this match and a match that hasn't been pre-booked yet. Storyline-wise, it probably makes more sense for the other match to main event, but I don't know if it's going to do better than our All-Asian title match. However, I don't think our All-Asian title match is exactly going to be a show stealer. I know Yu Hashimoto's incredible, but, you know, there's a fine line between a match like Jemmy versus Miwako and Michiko versus Yu, if you know what I mean. But other than that, we got some things to address in the build to the Hall of Fame show. We have a whole entire tour to get through with storylines and shit. So let's get right into the first tour show of Hall of Fame. Okay, it is time to kick off the tour. 5SSW's Hall of Fame tour is here. We had a very bad angle, apparently, on the last year's tour show. So Chitose's come a long way. I was just looking at it, and she's now up to a well-known, so she's come a long way. We got a big old 5v5 Icon Idols best ever main event, so that's really the only important thing I need to let you guys know before we get into the show. Kicking things off, we got Mitsu and Ayuko versus Romy and Sei. Romy and Sei, of course, very good, so the match did pretty well. Mitsu and Ayuko are still developing, and Kaori defeats Akira. Kaori doesn't get much of any solo action, so better than nothing, pretty much. 49 for the second one. We kick off the normal matches with a 3v3. A lot of 3v3s on this tour show, as Chicas Locas, Miwako, and the Termination defeat the team of Bulk and Blue and Kiyomi Mizuka in 12:40, when Miwako pinned Connie Morris with a Katsukawa bomb. I'm guessing. It didn't actually tell me for once. But yeah, this got a 63, and after the match, Miwako Katsukawa talks straight up to the Termination. She's like, look, hey, I know you two have felt rejected and neglected by me and this group, and I just want you to know that things are changing. I've been too focused on myself and Maya to lead this group properly. The Quad Squad have been out of line with you two. I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do to salvage this relationship? And the Termination look at each other, they shake their heads, and they bump Miwako's shoulders on their way out, and they leave. They walk out on Miwako Katsukawa and officially walk out on Chicas Locas. They are no longer members of this group. And that's official. I'm saving it. As you can see, because I've saved it, it is official. This is what Chicas Locas is down to right now. We then have another 3v3 between Lady Lotus and the Rose Queens and Apex's Monster Ishimura and Birds of Prey. And look at this. What a shocker we have as Thea Davis comes out of nowhere, hits Jemmy Onishi with a roll-up, quick 1-2-3, and thanks to that, the Rose Queens and Lady Lotus get a huge upset over 3 of the greatest workers in this roster and the greatest team arguably on this roster right now, Birds of Prey. How will Apex respond to that quick, surprising win by Thea Davis? Following that, we have Team Sub and Maki Yoshifumi teaming up against Down to the Mat and Rika Sujimura. And it goes 14 minutes and 52 seconds. And the non-stable winners win again, as Atsuko submits Hoshiko with the Ariyoshi lockdown. 71, Atsuko, good performance by them. And it's Team Sub and Maki Yoshifumi essentially call out Best Ever. After Best Ever laid them out. at the pay-per-view. Atsuko said Shiori wasn't done with her. Shiori blew her off and then showed up at the next pay-per-view to lay her out. Atsuko says, look, you can bring all the girls that you want. Team Sub and Maki Yoshifumi will be standing up to you, and we will be going to war. If you want to go to war, we're going to war. So yeah, these three are declaring war on Best Ever. Speaking of Best Ever, it's time for the main event. It gets a 68, not a bad, but not great. It goes 16 minutes and 58 seconds when Best Ever get the victory after Shiori submits Michiko Matsuda of all fucking with the Japensha leg lock. 68 for the main event, and Shiori Japensha essentially just kind of mocks and laughs off Team Sub and Maki Yoshifumi, feeling that they are not going to be that hard of a challenge or worthy challengers unless they can get more than just the three of them, because right now it seems that it is a 3 versus 7 right now. So Shiori Japensha really likes her chances against Team Sub and Maki. And that is how we end the main show. We do have one highlight from the press conferences as Fuyuko and Jemi essentially just call out the Rose Queens and say that they will get theirs in due time. Tonight was a fluke, and they will prove that over the coming shows. And that is how we end the overall show. Got a full-on 70. Beautiful stuff. And we made almost $8,000. Holy shit. Yeah, we're doing fine. Production values are through the roof. We're doing great. Saeed Ali, he's cool too. Alright, we're on tour day number 2. Main eventing this day, we've got Team Sub teaming with Michiko Matsuda, who will be challenging Yu Hashimoto for the All-Asian title against said Yu Hashimoto and the team of the Uprising in the main event. We have Shiori off the show, but essentially Team Sub and Maki on the last show agreed to settle the score. Maybe. I don't know if we're going to be settling anything, but Atsuko wants to settle the score with Shiori. Shiori's going to bring all of Best Ever with her. So we're going to see where that progresses tonight as we kick things off with Venomous versus Aikira and Mitsumomo Tani. Decent match. Nami Genda's got a strong connection with the young female demographic. Great for her. And then a 56 for Hana Ajibana versus Iyuko Osagawa. 7:45 there. We kick the normal matches off with an Apex victory as the team of Sei, Monster, and Sayuri get the victory over Asami, Amiko, and Connie. This only got a 66, but that's still really good when there's Connie Morris in the match. And it is Sayuri Honda who gets the submission victory, locking in something on Connie Morris. It didn't tell me what, she just tapped her out, but a 66 for that. And then we have Kiyomi Mizuka making an appearance to back up her group. She makes an appearance and essentially says, Sayuri Honda, this is not over. You reignited the fire. You already got a tag victory over me. You reignited the fire during the last tour. Now we need to resolve this one-on-one, me versus you. Finally, we'll settle the score at the pay-per-view. One-on-one, essentially. That I said it 40 fucking times, so maybe you get the idea that they're going to have a one-on-one match. But yeah, I really want to experiment with these two, see if they can pull off a decent little match to open Hall of Fame. So yeah, we're finally going to get them. They're going to have their big blow-off and then do their own things, develop their own characters for a little while following that match. Following that angle, we have a 3v3 as Rika, Rina, and Hoshiko fall to the Rose Queens and Maki Yoshifumi. In 10:48, the Rose Queens off a hot 3v3 victory on the last tour show where Thea Davis got the flash pinfall victory on Jemi Onishi to score them the victory. And Zofia gets a normal victory here against Rika, Rina, and Hoshiko when she hits the knockout head kick on Rika to get her team the victory there. 68 for that. And then we have a 4v4 as Apex's Wounded Warriors and Romy team with Lady Lotus in an unsuccessful attempt against Icon Idol's Wrestling Passion, Arian Yuma. Wrestling Passion, of course, going to be taking on Wounded Warriors at the pay-per-view, defending their tag titles. But tonight, It is Eri Sato getting the victory, hitting the buzzsaw kick on Romi Yamato. And then we get a promo from Eri and Yuma, where Yuma's essentially like, look, when I lost to Maya at Joshi Mania, I said I would take a step back from the spotlight to help Eri Sato achieve that spotlight. And I feel like Eri Sato has earned the shot has worked her way and is ready for the big time. She's ready to take on Miwako Katsukawa for the world title. However, I'm the only one that sees that. I ran it with Sensational Ogiwara. She said no. I ran it through Devils. She said no. Clearly, people do not feel like Eri Sato is ready, and I know Eri Sato is ready. So we're going to be taking the fight right to Miwako to prove that Eri Sato is ready for the big time. So it's a challenge, a big challenge. Maybe not even a challenge, just letting her know, giving her a heads up. What a nice person Yuma is. And our main event tonight gets a 78, fucking great shit, as Michiko Matsuda and Team Sub get the victory over Yu Hashimoto and the Uprising. Apex and Best Ever couldn't really get along here, as Team Sub and Michiko did get along quite well. Michiko getting some momentum going into her All-Asian title match at the pay-per-view. The match ended in 20 minutes and 28 seconds when Etsuko Ariyoshi locked in the Ariyoshi lockdown on Talia Quinzel to get the victory. And then after the match, if you remember earlier, Maki Yoshifumi teamed with the Rose Queens, and they gelled really well. And Shiori Japensha essentially told Team Sub and Maki that they need to get more bodies if they truly want to go to war and win against Best Ever. And now there's a 5-person group, and Team Sub are joined by Maki and Talia and Zelina and Zofia. Sorry. And it looks like we have a 5 versus 5 set up. When Birds of Prey come out of nowhere and jump the Rose Queens before retreating and losing a 5v2 battle, the Birds of Prey, after a humiliating loss in a roll-up fashion to Thea Davis, they said they would get their win back, and they have essentially called their shot. They want the Rose Queens, no matter how much Chieko, Etsuko, and Maki are gonna gel with them, I guess is the right terminology. I don't know. But that's how we end the show, and then this is the press conference, sorry. At the press conference, they essentially say that we're not going to be wasting time. They embarrassed us at the tour show. We're going to get that win back. We want them at the pay-per-view, or else this is going to keep happening to them. 58 to end the press conference. And the overall show gets a 77 because Yu Hashimoto is just fucking incredible. Who would have guessed? And overall, we made $9,500. Good shit. Very good shit. Very good show. Let's get into show number 3. Okay, time for tour day number 3 of the Hall of Fame show. Honest to God, I can't remember what I have main eventing the show. So this this show will probably be as much of a surprise to me as it is to you guys. So kicking things off, we have Chibi Violence versus Akira and Ayuko. 7:33. Miko got the victory for the Best Ever duo. And in the other one, it's Romi versus Mitsumomo Tani. Romi got a 63. Overall match got a 57. Overall good, decent little young lion match. Kicking off the regular matches, we have Miwako and Maya and Down to the Mat teaming up against Venomous and Bulk and Blue to get the victory. Good match goes 12 minutes and 18 seconds when Miwako hits the Katsukawa bomb on Nami Genda. Great performance by Maya and Miwako as usual. And following the match, they cut a promo essentially saying Miwako does not fear Eri Sato, so if Eri feels like she's good enough, then she needs to bring the heat and come and face her. I don't know, something like that. Miwako does not fear Eri Sato. She feels like she's not ready. She agrees with all the naysayers. So, yeah. 69 for that promo. Next match gets a clean 71. Good shit. As superb wrestling, decent reaction. Icon Idols Megumi, Machiko, and Yukiko defeat Hashimoto, Sei, and Monster. So another win for Machiko going into her All-Asian title match against Yu Hashimoto. But this time, her tag partner Yukiko gets the victory on Sei Akutagawa with the Matsumara Cradle. Yu Hashimoto still incredible. 71 overall segment, and Sei Akutagawa was very much not happy with how that match ended. Yukiko was feeling full of herself, I guess, I don't know, but Sei took object to it, and she gets all up in Yukiko's face and essentially says, like, look, that was complete luck. That's bullshit. You did not earn that victory. That was complete luck. There is a reason why your tag partner is getting the title match and not you. And Yukiko fires right back at her, and she's like, look, the only reason that I'm not getting the title match over Machiko is because I haven't had the opportunity to prove myself. And Sei fires back by saying, I haven't had the opportunity to prove myself either because I've been holding myself back because I don't want to hold my stablemate back. If I challenge for that title, it's only going to push Apex further back with infighting. And Yukiko's like, oh, sounds like someone just knows that they're not good enough. And Sei's like, oh, you think I'm not fucking good enough? Then meet me at the pay-per-view. And we have a pay-per-view match set up. Sei Akutagawa versus Yukiko Matsumara with all Asian title implications, maybe. Who knows? 69 for that promo. And our main event gets a 73 because Birds of Prey were in it, so it's going to get a great rating despite anything that might happen. And in the main event, Wounded Warriors and Birds of Prey defeat Icon Idols Eri, Yuma, and Wrestling Passion in 1808 when Fuyuko Higa pinned Paige Croft with the Higa Green Driver. I don't always put myself over. 73 for this match, and then afterwards the Rose Queens, they accept. They're like, fine, if this shit'll keep happening, we'll happily face you in the 2v2 at the pay-per-view and win again. We don't think it was a fluke. Thea Davis is like, we won the match fair and square. I pinned Jemmy. We can do it again. Let's meet at the pay-per-view. And we have one post-show press conference highlight, and it's essentially just Shiori laughing at Team Sub and Maki, like, I told them they needed more bodies, they found some friends, and it took one show for them to get double booked. So good luck taking on 5 girls with only a team of 3. Ha ha ha. Best ever. Dog. 76 for the tour show in its entirety. We made $9,900. We're close to the $10,000 gate. We're getting so close to the $10,000 gate. Bunch of regions got up and pop. Holy fuck, Razan Okamoto's incredible. Oh my god. Okay, we are here for the halfway point of the episode. Hall of Fame Tour Day 4. We got two more tour shows after this one, and then the pay-per-view. So that's what makes it the halfway point, because we're dead in the middle. Kicking off in tour day number 4, we have Asami Okubo and Kiyomi Mizuka getting a victory over the Young Lions. And then Heart Saito getting a victory over Aikira in a fucking disaster class, apparently, as Heart's creative finish sucked, and they also have bad chemistry. It is what it is. It's a Young Lion match. Maybe she fucking learned something, at least. That's all I can hope for. Kicking off the normal matches, we have Wounded Warriors and Sayuri Honda falling to the team of Lady Lotus and the Rose Queens in 13:21 when Lady Lotus pinned Chitose Ariwara with the Senton Bomb. So the Rose Queens continue their momentum after beating the Birds of Prey. So things are still going well for the Rose Queens in spite of that. Following that, we have another 3v3, seeing Team Sub and Maki Yoshifumi defeat the team of Bulk and Blue and Amiko Miyoshi. This one goes 15 minutes and 5 seconds when Maki pinned Connie Morris with the duck under kick. I thought maybe if Maki actually gets the victory, she'll be less angry. So we'll see if that plays out or not. But Maki did not have a great performance. What a shocker. She's not very great. 65 for that match. The following match, a 5v5, got a 72 as Icon Idols Machiko, Yukiko, Eri, Megumi, and Yuma defeat Chicas Locas, the Quad Squad, and Miwako after 16 minutes and 47 seconds when Eri Sato pinned Hana Ajibana with the buzzsaw kick, and essentially Yuma, after the match, pulls Miwako aside and's like, do you believe me now? Do you think Eri's earned it yet? I know how things work around here. She didn't pin you. It's only a tour show. So how about this? If you really don't feel like she's earned it despite winning tonight, how about you get 2 other girls and I bring Eri and Megumi and we meet in a 3v3 at the pay-per-view. 71 for this segment. And our main event also gets a 71 as best ever. Shiori and the Uprising defeat the team of Romy, Sei, and Monster in 19 minutes and 40 seconds when Shiori Japensha submitted Romy Yamato with the Japensha leg lock. Good way to end the show, but bad way to end the show if you are members of Apex, as Shiori pulls in Bulk and Blue to quote-unquote dispose of the trash and beat down Monster Ishimura and Romy Yamato and Sei Akutagawa. I forgot to put Sei on here, but Sei Akutagawa also gets beat down. Shiori Japensha doing her dirty work and looking at the camera with a microphone saying, this is what's going to happen to those 3 scrubs if they continue to challenge me. This is what's going to happen at the pay-per-view in whatever encounter we have, because we don't have a match set up yet. And Team Sub and Maki, same shit happens to them. Amiko and Bulk and Blue, they interrupt whatever Maki, Chieko, and Itsuko were talking about and just beat them up. Continue to beat them down. The Rose Queens are now occupied with their own thing, so who knows who's going to be able to accompany Itsuko and Chieko at the pay-per-view. As we finished the overall show, the tour got a 73, and we benefited from a wide selection of angles. When don't we? $98,000 at the $9,800 at the gate, not thousand. That would be fucking great if we had $98,000, but no. So that wraps up the halfway point of this episode. So let's get into the first of 2 final tour shows before the Hall of Fame pay-per-view. Alright, the second to last tour show of the Hall of Fame tour is upon us. We got a fun main event today. We have a singles match in the main event, as Fuyuko Higa will be taking on Thea Davis in one-on-one action. Just a fun little match. I wanted to do Thea and Jemmy, but they have bad chemistry, so we'll ignore the fact that she rolled up Jemmy and just highlight the fact that Thea Davis was the one that got the roll-up, so Fuyuko Higa wants to settle things in a singles match. And then we have a bunch of other multi-mans. So let's get into the show. Kicking things off, Rika Rina defeat the team of Aikira and Mitsumomo Tani. Rika got a 60, which is good. As you could imagine, that is a good rating for us. And a 56 versus Sophia, also getting a 60, which I don't know if you just heard me, but that is a really good rating for 5SSW. And yeah, so kicking the main show off, we have a 63 rated match that saw Chicas Locas, Hoshiko, Miwako, and Maya defeat the team of Lady Lotus and Venomous. Miwako and Maya are looking to get a third person going into the pay-per-view to take on Yuma, Megumi, and Eri. And tonight they team up with Hoshiko Tagawa, but Miwako and Maya aren't looking for someone in Chicas Locas. They're looking for someone outside of Chicas Locas to team with. Because after the match, Miwako Katsukawa grabs a microphone and tells Lady Lotus, like, look, it's been a while since we feuded. And if you guys don't know the lore, in both Lady Lotus and Miwako's bio, it references this heated feud that Miwako and Lady Lotus had for the All-Asian title. I've been building it up as eternal foes, so that's what we're going to be playing off of. So Miwako essentially says, like, look, it's been a long time since we feuded for that All-Asian title. You've been through hell and back, and we saw you've been back, and you've been one of the best performers in the company so far. However, the company is scared to get behind you because of your neck problems, and I am beside myself as one of the hardest and toughest competitors I have ever seen and stepped in the ring with is not getting the shine that she deserves when other people are getting the shine that they deserve. So I would love to bury the hatchet once and for all. Quit feuding with you, Lady Lotus. I want to team with you. I want you to be our third man in this battle against 3 of the best that 5SSW has to offer. Yuma wants to make this a match about showcasing Eri Sato. I think we make it a match about showcasing Lady Lotus. What do you say? Let's put the past in the past and work together. And Lady Lotus hesitates, but in the end gives in. agrees to team with Maya and Miwako, and these three will take on Yuma, Megumi, and Eri at the pay-per-view. Following that, we have a 4v4 70 rating, really good, as Bulk and Blue took out both of these teams on the last tour show, so they're teaming up tonight and defeating the other members of Best Ever, Chibi Violence and The Uprising, as Monster Ishimura pinned Asami Okubo with the running butt avalanche. But that is not it for Monster and Romy, as even though Bulk and Blue also laid out Sei Akutagawa is busy at the pay-per-view, but Monster and Romy are most certainly not, and they call out Bulk and Blue, saying they're a bunch of brainless meatheads that do whatever Shiori wants them to do, and it's coming to bite them in the ass, because at the pay-per-view, Monster and Romy want them in a tag match to finish them off for good. 43 for that promo. And our main event gets an 82, because of course it does. It's Thea Davis versus Fuyuko Higa. Shorter show. I know there wasn't a lot going on, but not every show can be long. And I want to save the best possible matches for our pseudo go-home tour show. I get no benefit from doing that other than it makes me feel good inside. So shorter show tonight, but a great main event to cap things off. Thea Davis was not able to have magic strike twice. No roll-up victory against Fuyuko Higa as she falls in 23 minutes and 28 seconds with the Higa Green Driver. That is how we cap off the main show. But on the press conference, Shiori Japensha officially makes the challenge for Atsuko Ariyoshi. She says the only way that she will get that Atsuko and Team Sub will be able to face Best Ever at the pay-per-view is in a 5v5 match. And Atsuko's immediate response is, so if I say yes, you will do the 5v5. And Shiori's like, yeah, absolutely. I will do a 5v5. And Shiori's like thinking like, oh, Birds of Prey are taking on their only other allies that Team Sub have, other than Maki. Birds of Prey are taking on the Rose Queens. So they're outnumbered. They will show up to the 5v5, short 2 people. And Atsuko just, without even hesitating, is like, so you agree to it? And she's like, yes. And Atsuko's like, okay, no problem. And they shake on it. And Shiori's a little taken back. What does Atsuko Ariyoshi have planned as we go into a 5v5 match at the pay-per-view? Shiori only knows 3 allies, so who else could Atsuko possibly call on with such confidence for a 10-woman tag? And that's how we end. Holy fuck, we got an 83. I mean, we put on a great... will this be the $10,000 gate? Holy shit, it is! And we made an extra buck. We made $1 over $10,000. Let's fucking go. Record-breaking gates. Record-breaking gates. Let's go. Oh my god. But yeah, hell yeah. Let's go. $10,001 made on that tour show. And we only got one more tour show before the pay-per-view, so let's get into that. The final tour day for the Hall of Fame tour is upon us. We got a pretty stacked card here. I can't actually announce the main event because we don't know the main event. We know that Chibi Violence and The Uprising are going to take on Team Sub and 2 other people, but we don't know who those 2 other people are, and it's heavily implied that whoever those 2 other people are going to be the 2 people that would be joining Team Sub and Maki Yoshifumi at the pay-per-view in this 5v5. So, other than that, we have some really fun matches as we kick things off with Down to the Mat defeating Ikira and Yuko to get a 59, and Paige Croft defeating Mitsumomo Tani to get a 57. So, yeah, the Young Lion matches still did decent enough. Kicking things off, we have a 72 rated match as Lady Lotus and Miwako Katsukawa team up for the first time, at least in this save, possibly ever, to defeat the team of Eri Sato and Sakura Sada. Match goes 13 minutes and 39 seconds when Lady Lotus gets the victory for their team, hitting Sakura Sada with the Senton Bomb. Really good performances from Miwako and Eri. 72 overall, thanks to that Lady Lotus creative finish that she came up with herself. So that's really good. But yeah, really fun way to kick the show off. We then have a preview match for both the Kiyomi versus Sayuri match and the Bulk and Blue versus Romian Monster match. And this one goes 12 minutes and 54 seconds when Kiyomi Mizuka submits Sayuri Honda with the inverted sleeper. This match got a 52. Yes, Kiyomi gets the victory, so they're going to be fully even across this tour, going into their singles match to hopefully settle the score between these two new bloods. Yeah, Sayuri had a really good performance here, though, so that's good to see. And Kiyomi did decent as well, so nice. 52 for that match. And then we have another 3v3 75. Really great shit. Yu Hashimoto did incredible. As Thea Davis teams up with High Fly Royalty to take on Apex's Jemmy, Sei, and Yu. This is previewing 3 different matches. The All-Asian title match, the Birds of Prey versus Rose Queens match, and Sei versus Yukiko match. This one ends in 19 minutes and 13 seconds when Sei Akutagawa gets her win back on Yukiko Matsumara with a Northern Lights bomb. So they're also going to be completely even going into this pay-per-view match. Sei called Yukiko's pinfall victory a fluke and has kind of backed it up now. So yeah, it is announced that Atsuko and Chieko, who did they find? They found the Termination to team with them, recently departing from Chika's Locust, feeling like they were ignored, have now decided to team up with Team Sub and presumably Maki Yoshifumi at the pay-per-view, as they are going to go into a 4v4 with Team Sub, get the victory in the main event tonight. Not a great match, but it got the job done. It told the story that the Termination, we haven't seen them since the first night of this tour when they walked out on Chika's Locust and Miwako and the company as a whole, only to return with Team Sub and with Team Sub and Maki Yoshifumi. I didn't book Maki Yoshifumi because she costs a lot of money. But yeah, they get their win in the first match back as Toku pinned Asami Okubo with the belly-to-belly superplex. And after the match, Atsuko, Chieko, Toku, Unstoppable, they announce that they are here and they're not going anywhere, as they are forming their own faction. Best Ever and Shiori made Team Sub realize how much they need backup, and everybody that they've teamed up with so far needs backup. So Atsuko, Chieko, Maki, Toku, and Unstoppable are going to be the first 5 members in 5SSW's newest faction, Green Lockdown, and they will debut their branding on the pay-per-view. So what that essentially just means is they will have their first match as Green Lockdown at the pay-per-view, and I will show you what their logo looks like at the pay-per-view. So you guys gotta wait till the end of the video to see what Green Lockdown looks like. But yes, new stable in 5SSW. Shiori pushed Team Sub too far, and now there is a new player in the unit game. 67 for the overall tour show. A fucking massive gate. 10-2-2-2. We broke 10,000 once, and now we're breaking so many barriers. Good way to end the show. I mean, it was objectively a bad way to end the show, but good tours all around. That would have been a great show if I organized it better, but I don't care. I put the storyline first. I put that in the main event because that's what I feel deserved to be in the main event. So let's get straight into Hall of Fame 2023. We are here for 5 Star Supreme Wrestling's Hall of Fame 2023. On paper, it's kind of a lesser card, but we do have some fun things pre-booked. We have the official debut of Green Lockdown as a unit. The Termination and Team Sub just teamed up, but this will be the first time as Green Lockdown, the newest alliance, the newest unit, the newest player in the stable game of 5SSW here. We're also, for the first time possibly ever in 5SSW history, the first time in this Saves history, we're going to be main eventing the show with the All-Asian title match. I fought with myself for a good minute. I I couldn't determine if I wanted Green Lockdown versus Best Ever to main event or the All Asian title match, but I'm trusting Yu Hashimoto and Michiko Matsuda. I used the Inspire pre-show gimmick before this one, so ratings are going to be better than usual. I'm hoping big. I'm hoping big. We're kicking things off with Kiyomi versus Sayuri, then going to Bulk and Blue versus Romy and Monster, then the tag title match, Wounded Warriors versus Wrestling Passion, then we have the All Asian title implication match, Yukiko versus Sei, then Rose Queens versus Birds of Prey, then Icon Idols versus Lady Lotus, Miwako, and Maya, our semi-main, the debut of Green Lockdown versus Best Ever, and the main event, the All Asian title match. I'm hoping for good shit. Let's just run it and see how it goes. We kick things off with the big blow-off. Kiyomi Mizuka and Sayuri Honda go for 12 minutes and 6 seconds. And in the end, Sayuri Honda, the one I've been oozing over... I don't want to use that phrasing. The one I've been glazing this entire save so far, does get the victory over Kiyomi Mizuka in 12 minutes and 6 seconds. Pinfall with the Northern Light suplex. She had a decent performance, 54, so she's already good enough to get like a proper, mid-card push. I see a big future in Sayuri Honda, and having her go over Kiyomi Mizuka again just kind of solidifies her as somebody that we want to use well. And after the match, uncharacteristically from both girls, it seems, they show respect to one another. They both give each other a bow, a handshake, and just kind of a send-off to this feud. Like, now we're really going to be doing our own thing. They show each other respect as competitors, and yeah, we end the feud. This is how their rivalry, at least for now, ends, with the two of them showing respect to each other. In the following match, the team of Bulk and Blue and Romy and Monster, holy fuck, this got really good. This did really well. Oh my god, this got a 71. That's crazy. In 15 minutes and 6 seconds, Apex won the match after Monster Ishimura hit the running butt avalanche on Kinye Mushishibo. Romy Yamato got an 80 tonight. Monster got a 72. Monster might finally be good enough to actually push, so who knows. But yeah, after Bulk and Blue did the dirty work for Shiori, Monster and Romy protested, and they stood their shit. They stood their ground, they held their own, and they won at the pay-per-view in a really good 71 rated match. Time for the tag team titles. Wounded Warriors getting a real shot to show us what they got, and they actually did really well, both with 50s. Kaori with a 56, Chitose with a 53, Paige Croft, 73, let's fucking go. Paige Croft with the performance of the match. But yeah, Wounded Warriors did really well, but not well enough, as Wrestling Passion make defense number 3 of their 5 SSW tag team titles when Heart Saito pinned Chitose Ariwara with the Heart Stopper. 74 rated match, good stuff from the Wrestling Passion girls. It's been a long road to get to these titles, and they are holding on to them tightly. In the following match, superb wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Sei Akutagawa proves that it was in fact a fluke that Yukiko got over her earlier in the tour, as she defeats Yukiko in 20 minutes and 19 seconds with the Northern Lights bomb. Really good performance from Sei Akutagawa, and I kept saying that this match would have All Asian title implications, but with Sei winning, and saying earlier in the tour that the reason she isn't going for the All Asian title is because she doesn't want to get in the way of her own stable mate's reign, I guess. What's the word? Way. She doesn't want to get into her... I don't know the words I'm trying to say, so I'm going to stop before I embarrass myself. But regardless, does this mean with a victory, she will get a All Asian title match? Will she want one with Yu Hashimoto as the champion? So who knows? 71 from Yukiko is very impressive, chat. Yes. And yeah, 81 overall for this match is good. In the following match, a 2v2, a 94. Holy shit, a 94 from these two. Oh my god. They gave me the Zofia Jankovic was the weak link, and she had a 65. Oh my god. Yeah, this match is fucking incredibly good. Fuyuko Higa with a 91. Superb wrestling is a bit of an understatement, as in 21 minutes and 44 seconds, Birds of Prey defeat the Rose Queens when Fuyuko Higa pinned Thea Davis with the Death from Above. Yeah, Birds of Prey vanquish their Rose Queen demons in one of the greatest matches in company history, as yeah, I mean, yeah, the Rose Queens lost, but I guess the clear story from this match is that they can hold their fucking own. They're most certainly not bound to the undercard, as they have just displayed that they are fucking incredible. A 94. I mean, when in doubt, what do we do, guys? We Birds of Prey it out. Yeah, I made this one go long, too, because I'm like, so Zofia Jankovic is still an unimportant. I tried to get her over in this tour. The world does not let me push this woman, but, she's still an unimportant, so the time of this match is going to give me a penalty in the full show. I think it's fucking worth it. I think the overall show penalty I'm gonna get is absolutely fucking worth it when this got a 94. So yeah. Up next is the 3v3 between Icon Idols and Lady Lotus and Miwako and Maya. Miwako and Lady Lotus finally able to bury the hatch to take on Eri, Megumi, and Yuma, but the fairy tale does not have a happy ending for those two, as it is Icon Idols who get the victory, and it's not just Icon Idols who get the victory, it's Eri Sato who pins the world champion. Yuma has been saying and preaching that Eri is ready for the big time, and here she is, pinning the world champion in a 3v3 in a pay-per-view match. Lady Lotus tried her hardest. She had a broken neck. I'm not blaming her. But yeah, 83 overall match, and she gets the victory, and she, after Yuma Maruya encourages her to challenge for the world title, she says, "You've proven your point, now make the challenge." She gives the microphone to Eri, and she says, "Miwako, your reign is coming up because I'm gonna take that title from you." Let's fucking go. 88 from both Maya and Miwako. 82 from Eri Sato as well. The future's looking bright for 5SSW. It is now time for the semi-main, as Green Lockdown will take on Best Ever. Before we get into that, I did promise a branding, and I don't have a angle for their entrance. So here is what the Green Lockdown stable looks like. There we go. I really like it. I think it looks clean. There you go. That's Green Lockdown. Here's Etsuko's page. Alright, this of course will be added to the 64 GDS page tomorrow, if not in an hour or so as of this stream. But yes, Green Lockdown, the newest major player in the 5SSW canon, and they prove that they're the major player as they get the victory in this 5v5 match against Best Ever, as Etsuko Ariyoshi submits Selena's Valette with the Ariyoshi Lockdown. Really good performance from Etsuko, of course. Shiori with an 86 as well. She's finally back to her full self. Selena with an 80, good for her. The worst performance was a 66, and that's from Maki and Chieko. Or no, Unstoppable Tai had a worse performance. I'm sorry, I overestimated. But regardless, really good performances from the highest members involved. Match goes 20 minutes and 8 seconds before Ariyoshi submits Selena. And after the match, Ariyoshi makes the announcement. She wants the one-on-one rematch. She wants Japensha on her own 1v1 at Japan Slam. Shiori got the victory at Joshi Mania. Etsuko has rebounded. She's gotten back up. Best Ever will not have the numbers advantage. She'll be able to face her fair and square, even Stevens 100% at Joshi Mania. And now it's time for the main event. The All Asian Championship is main eventing. Do I think it will get a 94? No. Do I think it'll do great? Yes. The match, I don't remember how long I said it to go for, but Michiko Matsuda, one of the best Triangle champions in recent memory, if not all time. I've been trying to push her hard, but Yu Hashimoto has been giving us insane ratings. We are giving them the keys to the kingdom for one night to see what they can do. And in an 84 rated match, Yu Hashimoto did a great job here. Bout that had superb wrestling and great heat. Yu Hashimoto does get the victory in the main event, defeating Michiko Matsuda in 23 minutes and 30 seconds by pinfall with the endgame. Defense number 4 of the 5SSW All-Asian title. And, yeah, I mean, naturally, I did not think Birds of Prey and the Rose Queens would get a fucking 94. So, other than that small detail, I think this was the right call in main eventing. Did it do great? No. But our standards have gone up a lot. So, finishing the show, overall, we get an 83. Zofia Jankovic was used far too much on the show. Cry about it. Yeah. I think in terms of pay-per-views with worse cards on paper, this did incredible. So, yeah, we're gonna tell Maki Yoshifumi she's the greatest wrestler of all time because she's still mad. Fuyuko Higa, also greatest wrestler of all time. And, who else did great? Jemmy. Probably Jemmy also. There we go. Financial report made $67,000. We gained another popularity point in Kansai. And yeah, I'd say that's an overall success for this tour. We made a lot of money. At the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. We have a couple matches pseudo pre-booked for the future. We only have 2 matches officially pre-booked for the pay-per-view, and I didn't pre-book them on the show, so we'll do that right when the simming finishes up. But yes, we have Etsuko versus Shiori set for Japan Slam, as well as Miwako and Eri set for Japan Slam. So let's pre-book those right now. Eri and Miwako, world title, and Etsuko and Shiori set for Japan Slam. There we go. Alright, all these are gonna expire. That's great. Oh my god, Maki Yoshifumi is finally not mad. Holy shit. Oh my god, the economy in Japan is currently weak. Yeah, that's because we're taking all of the money from them. It's because we're taking everybody's money right out of their pockets. We're robbing them with a great show. Alright. Yeah, good shit. Good shit. New stable. Is it the best introduction I've done? No. Is it the worst? No. However, Etsuko has proven to me that she can be a top name, so I want to give her the opportunity to do so. And I feel like the best way to do that is to give her her own stable. I think Best Ever was only going to hold her back, especially with the abundance of teams they have in Best Ever. And I also felt like the Termination were treading water in Chicas Locas, so I wanted to wanted them to become the focal point team of a stable again. Each stable kind of has their own focal point team in my eyes. Obviously Higa and Jemmy, it's different here. Wounded Warriors are kind of the go-to tag team. The Uprising are the go-to tag team. Chicas Locas, Rika Rina are the go-to team. Green Lockdown, they're the go-to team now. And then Wrestling Passion are the go-to team for Icon Idol. So I don't have that put off to the side, but I've noticed the way that I book ever since I introduced the Quad Squad, I was kind of not using the Termination and just using the Quad Squad. So I wanted to give the Termination a chance to shine once again, because I feel like they could be a really solid part of our division. But yeah, other than that, that's going to be it for this edition. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all come back for the October pay-per-view Japan Slam in episode 22.